The quiet defiant Sigma INFJs were never made to blend in. While the world rushes to belong, to echo the loudest voice, to follow the trend, they quietly stand still. It isn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. It's discernment, a deep, unwavering pull to live by inner truth instead of outer validation. Others might chase applause or approval. Sigma INFJs seek alignment. And in a world that rewards conformity, their refusal to follow the crowd is nothing short of quiet defiance. Part 1. The Inner Compass. For most people, identity is shaped externally by the family they come from, the friends they keep, the opinions they absorb. But Sigma INFJs operate differently. They possess an internal compass so strong, so quietly certain, that even when surrounded by noise, they don't lose direction. This compass doesn't shout, it guides. It makes them pause before they act, reflect before they speak, and observe before they decide. They're not interested in what's popular, they're interested in what's real. Authenticity becomes their North Star. What may look like resistance to the crowd is, at its core, fierce loyalty to the self, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's lonely, because compromising their values would mean betraying who they are. And that's a cost they won't pay. Part 2. The Weight of Observation. Sigma INFJs are intense observers. They don't just watch, they absorb, they analyze, they decode. Every glance, every gesture, every silence is interpreted. They see beneath the surface of people and trends, sensing motivations and energy shifts others overlook. This constant observation creates emotional distance. While others are swept into social dynamics, Sigma INFJs remain grounded. They're not indifferent. They're intentional. They pause because they need to understand before they engage. They question because blind trust doesn't come easily. They may seem quiet in groups, but their mind is rarely still. And because they understand the cost of conformity, how it can dissolve one's sense of self, they step back. That space isn't withdrawal. It's self-preservation. Part 3. Pattern breakers by design. There are two types of people: those who follow systems and those who are born to question them. Sigma INFJs fall in the second group. Social norms, traditions, and rules often feel restrictive to them. If something no longer serves a purpose, they challenge it, not out of rebellion, but out of logic and conscience. This refusal to accept this is just how things are makes them natural disruptors. They don't settle into routines unless those routines align with their deeper beliefs. They don't blindly adopt cultural expectations, they interrogate them. They were never meant to walk pre-paved paths, they were meant to carve new ones. Part 4. Emotional independence. One of the core traits that fuels this quiet resistance is emotional independence. Sigma INFJs aren't dependent on validation to feel complete. While others may look for reassurance in groupthink or social consensus, they turn inward. They find clarity in solitude. They process feelings privately. They don't overshare, nor do they seek sympathy. Their independence makes them immune to manipulation, guilt-tripping, and social pressure. And this makes them deeply grounded in their convictions. Because of this emotional resilience, they can walk away from crowds that feel false, even if it costs them companionship. It's not stubbornness, it's integrity. Part 5. Integrity over acceptance. To belong to themselves, Sigma INFJs often sacrifice belonging elsewhere. This choice is deliberate. If fitting in requires them to dull their light, twist their truth, or silence their instincts, they'll choose solitude every time. They're not seeking popularity, they're seeking peace. They're not chasing status, they're chasing alignment. And their integrity isn't situational, it's sacred. That's why they say no when others say yes. That's why they walk away when others stay. They understand that acceptance means little when it's built on a version of themselves that isn't real. Part 6. When logic meets intuition. The refusal to follow the crowd doesn't come from emotion alone. It's the result of logic and intuition working together. Sigma INFJs often sense what's beneath the surface, but they also think critically about it. They don't act on impulse, they act with insight. If a movement or trend seems ethically hollow or energetically wrong, they'll step back. Even if everyone else is diving in, they want to know the why behind the what. They want to see the ripple effect of every action before taking it. This careful processing makes them slow to commit, but when they do, it's with full conviction. Part 7. The duality of disconnection. To outsiders, Sigma INFJs may seem distant, aloof, or even judgmental, but their distance isn't rejection, it's reflection. It's space to evaluate what they're being asked to become, and whether that version is true to who they are. This disconnection is a double-edged sword. It protects them from the noise, but it can also lead to isolation. Still, they'd rather stand apart with integrity than be swallowed whole by something that doesn't fit. And the truth is, they don't want to be above anyone. They just want to be themselves. Part 8. Freedom as a core value. At the heart of it all lies freedom. Freedom to think, to feel, to choose. Sigma INFJs are driven by this core value. Any situation, social, personal, or professional, that threatens their autonomy becomes a red flag. They resist control disguised as connection, expectations disguised as care, authority disguised as guidance, because they've learned that not every smile is sincere and not every path is theirs to walk, and they would rather be misunderstood in their truth than celebrated in a lie. Conclusion: the unfollowed path. Sigma ENFJs don't follow the crowd because their soul whispers louder than the world shouts. Their life isn't built on trends or timelines, it's built on truth. Quiet, unwavering, soul-carved truth. They walk alone, not because they must, but because it's the only way to stay whole. And in a world that rewards noise, their silence speaks volumes.